Today, we're taking a look at this either 48 or 49 F-5. This is an old Ford. This is one of the first generations of the F series, and it used to be called the Ford Bonus Built trucks. I'm your host, Tammy Walker, and thanks for stopping by All Vehicles Great and Small. This has the old flathead V8 in it, and you can see right here, this hole here, that's where you'd put the hand crank in, crank her up.
Maybe you have a dead battery and you need to crank start your vehicle. The crank bar would go into the hole, connect with the front pulley of the motor, and then you would give it a half turn and it would start. Another method suggests giving the handle a few turns to draw fresh fuel air mixture into the cylinders, and then turn until you feel some compression, and then give it a vigorous turn to start the engine.
We've got our Ford emblem in the front. We've got this really cool grill. We've got our headlights, and then here's our marker lights. You can see them there and here. And it looks like, either dealer or somebody aftermarket lights up here, the turn or marker lights. And what's really cool about these old trucks is the lever to open this hood. It's right here. You just pull on that. We'll do that in a minute. Let's come around. We've got the old bumper. This looks like it could be original. This is where your license plate went. And we'll come around to the side. It's got some nice dents in it, some lichen growing on it. Look at the design coming across here. This is really cool looking. And we'll come down here, and we've got a 5 lug nut rim. This is a pretty big size tire. This looks like this is in different pieces. Identify. Okay. Here we have our F-5 badge. That is the body style of this truck. And we've got our step coming down here into our door. And we've got our door handle. And then for the key, you just pull that up, put your key in there. Got our gas cap here. I'm going to guess that tank is right behind the seat, like a lot of these trucks. Okay, get that. Got this nice big mirror. And this is a dually. This truck was later on set up to be a dump truck. This has the hydraulic ram lift. So here is our battery cage, and you would put two 6-volt batteries in here. See our dually. Mud flaps are required in Washington State. And this old janky old bed, look at this. This is just fun to look at. I mean, everything's crooked, everything's rotten, sun-baked, falling over. Love it. All right, what do we got back here? We got the back of our frame. We've got these small little brake lights here. And we've got some of these we got little bullet markers here. But if you come down lower, you can see we also have some brake lights in the back. 1985, last time this was registered. Good. And we'll sneak down this way. Not much to look on this side. The vehicles are parked pretty close together. We'll take a look on the inside. What I find fascinating about this one on the driver's side is there is no keyhole. So there's no keyhole for locking this side of the door. So I wonder if it's like the old Chevy truck where you'd get in, you lock this side, and you go out the other side and key lock that. All right, come inside. So inside of our door. Once again, those little Bakelite knobs. There's no window in there. Here's our handle for the door. Usually up is lock. Pens. Got our wing windows. Take a look back here behind the seat. Gas tank back here. They got a little box here. You can put your stuff in. Messy. All right, I'm gonna get into the mess. Hulk smash. Oh wow, this is cool. It's gonna be really hard to see everything in here though. It's pretty dusted out. Let's get this cleaned off the best we can. What we got is a session number for the museum that explains what this is so they know they can look up in the paperwork. I believe this was brought in 2001. So we've got a knob here. We got our speedometer. Our fuel gauge, temp or oil gauge. I'm sure it's the temperature. It's kind of hard for me to see these, so I'm hoping the camera did not want to pick up on that. All right. Then we come down here. We got another knob, probably a choke. This is just key start. I don't see a starter button down here. So key start. That could be the starter button. Okay. Then we've got our heater controls here. Come up to our vent for our dash. And we've got our ash can and our glove box. Come down, we got that heater core down here. And we've got a shifter here. And then this is our shifter for our transmission. But these shifters here are probably for the dump bed that was originally on this. Then we come down and we have our gas. You can see that's kind of fallen off of there. Let's see here. We got our brake and then our clutch right there. And then, of course, this also has the bright switch for your headlights. And we'll come up here. We've got our turn indicator and our steering wheel. There might have been a horn. This is our activator for our windshield wipers. And do you see that little metal piece here? There is a lever somewhere that I can pull, and that opens it up and allows the fresh air to come in here. All right. Take a look at the top and around. Don't see any visors in here. Come up and around behind me. When opening one of these old hoods, make sure you wiggle as you go. Don't force, just gently wiggle them open. Okay, we have that flathead V8. There were two different flathead V8s available for this engine. I'll probably talk about that more in my historical facts section. Little spot to store stuff, I guess. Got a radiator. Our air cleaner oil bath. Got our fan shroud. There's a shroud with a fan in it. And this is probably the generator. Crankcase breather cap. My oil filter. Okay, fuel filter. This is our original fuel pump and glass bowl filter. Down. All right, let's look at the other side. Okay, we've got our distributor cap, spark plugs. And here is also another place for the battery here. It would have a 6-volt.
This Ford is from the first generation of the F-Series, also known as the Ford bonus-built trucks. The first generation was from 1948 to 1952 model years. The F-Series was the beginning of a new era for Ford. They wanted to separate the car and truck chassis that they've been combining over the years and upgrade the trucks to a heavier duty chassis. The first generation offered 8 different chassis, from the lightweight F1 to the heavy-duty F8. Model F1 was a half-ton, F2 was a 3/4 ton, F3 was 3/4 ton heavy-duty, F4 was a 1-ton with the optional 1 1/4 ton available, F5 was 1 1/2 ton, F6 is a 2-ton, F7 and F8 were the big job, and we have that truck to show you in the future. The F5 offered different body styles: the cab over, which was the C series, the bus chassis, the B series, the parcel, the P series, and the conventional medium-duty truck, which we have here in front of us. Earlier, I had mentioned there were 2 V8s for this truck. I was wrong. The 226 Flathead 6 was available, or the 239 Flathead V8 was available. They also offered 3 different types of manual transmissions: the 3-speed heavy-duty, the 4-speed spur gear, and the 4-speed synchro silent. This truck has the 239 Flathead V8. I deduced this to be a 1949 Ford using the description for the 48 and 49. 48 began with wider, longer, and taller cabs. They had black rims, heater only, no defroster, running boards curved over the frame, and under cab. The 1949 had no red pinstripes on silver painted grille bars. The wheels were painted to match the truck instead of the black wheels. The defroster was added as an option. The running boards trimmed at the frame for ease of replacement, and the passenger-side taillight became standard, as well as reflectors on both sides. And in 1950, they moved the 3-speed up onto the steering column, so this is definitely not in 1950. I went by the description that the running boards were trimmed at the frame for ease of replacement, and that's what it looked like on our 49. I'll probably find out at the museum after I've made this video, and I'll put the correction below in the comments if I'm wrong. The F-Series were assembled at these plants in the United States: Pennsylvania, Texas, 2 in Michigan, New Jersey, Georgia, California, Virginia, Missouri, and Minnesota. These were also built in Canada, but marketed through Lincoln Mercury under the M series to make it available to the rural farmers. This first generation of F-Series trucks is the only generation to have entirely flathead engines, like the i6 and the V8s. You can check out this truck yourself at the Central Washington Agriculture Museum, located in Union Gap, Washington. And also coming up at the museum, the 27th Annual Old Steel Car Show, Sunday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can see a couple of my cars there. There's going to be a lot of great cars throughout, and you'll be able to check out the museum. Hope to see you there.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Remember to leave comments and stories about this truck down below. We'd love to hear from you. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. We have a lot of great vehicles we want to show you in the future. Hey, have a great one.